Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I've done a makeup tutorial, so I decided to do it today with the new Goodnight Sweetheart eyeshadow palette by Sleek, which is limited edition for the fall autumn season. And as this collection also comes with 3 VIP lipsticks, I decided to show you 3 different options of creating this eye makeup look along with these 3 lipsticks. So the shades are Elite, Icon and Paparazzi. So the one I'm wearing at the moment is Icon. So at the end of the video you'll see me changing into this shade as well as the other 2 shades, just to give you guys an option. I don't think that these are limited edition, but I know that the eyeshadow palette is. So here is the look up close. As you can see, they're really lovely romantic sort of shades, and I've gone in with huge lashes by Huda Beauty. These are Scarlett, they're called Scarlett. I love her eyelashes. And yeah, so it's a really nice kind of smoky sort of looking eye, but then going in with a pale lip. But then again, this is the kind of makeup look where you can have dark lips as well, which is what I wanted to show you. There is the option to do that. So whereas the shades are quite deep and dusky, they're still not smoky enough that there'd be a clash of having really powerful eyes as well as really powerful lips. So that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and I'll see you all in the video. Bye. Hello everybody. So I'm going completely barefaced today. I thought I would go through a lot more of my routine than I normally have been doing recently in a lot of videos. So to prep my eyes first, I'm using my Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is just to keep your eyeshadow and everything in place all day, and then I'm priming my face with the Nivea Post Shave Men's Balm thingy, which is awesome. Now I'm using my new Urban Decay All Nighter foundation in the shade even at 7.0 because you guys wanted to see me use it in a tutorial, so voila, here it is. And I have used a pump and a half to dot it all over my face, and then I am blending it in with a Morphe M439 buffing brush. This is a huge fat buffing brush. It really blends it in quite a lot. As you can probably tell, my tan has already started to fade, so the foundation may be looking a little bit dark on me. I'm going to go and get a lighter shade. And now I'm doing my eyebrows, which I don't often do in videos anymore because I've completely changed my routine and it's a lot longer, so I didn't want to bore you guys, but I'm going to show it to you in this video just so that you can see what I've been doing. I'll probably do a separate brow video now. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade medium brown. I'm using one of her brushes to fill in my eyebrows. So what I do is I outline it and then I go underneath and outline that area, gently fill in the front and then kind of tidy and neaten it all up, and then use the spoolie end to brush it all out. Now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in the shade 2.0, which is very light, and that's fine. And I'm using a MAC 124 concealing brush, and as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm basically tidying up my eyebrows. This is the perfect thing to do if you want really sharp, precise, perfect eyebrows. Not necessarily natural, but perfect. But obviously I don't like pile on the product onto my eyebrows. I only use a tiny bit of the Dipbrow, which is why it lasts me about 6 months. And I'm literally going all the way around my brows just to tidy them up and just to sharpen it as well. And that's the reason why you use a lighter shade as well, so that it will like kind of make your brows stand out a little bit more. Then I'm using that same brush just to kind of blend a little bit, not all of it, because it's quite a thin brush, so you can't really do a lot of blending as you would be able to do with like something fluffy. This is just to kind of spread out the product a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is use the same foundation brush and just blend it all in. So as you can see now, the top looks really sharp, and because it's got a little bit of lighter concealer, even though that's been blended into my foundation, it makes it look really tidy. And then just using my finger, I just blend in the rest. And now I'm going to conceal my under eye area, and I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade medium. And then as always, I'm highlighting the high points of my face using MAC Prep and Prime in the shade also medium, because I still haven't finished it. And I am blending it all out with a damp beauty blender, as I always do, to make the cheekbone area kind of stand out and to cover up any dark circles that I might have lurking around. Now to set all the areas I just applied all the concealer and stuff, I'm using the Marc Jacobs Instamark Light Filtering Contour Powder. This is an awesome setting powder to use, and I am setting it with a Real Techniques setting brush. So just to all the places where you just saw me applying loads and loads of product. Then I'm using the MAC Studio Fix Powder Plush Foundation in the shade NC40, and I'm using a Sigma large fluffy brush just to set all my foundation as well. And then I'm using the NYX HD powder and a contour brush by Real Techniques, that's it. And I am just setting all the concealer around my eyes and blanking out the colour of my eyes as well. I'm really neutralising them so that they're basically blank and there's no sticky concealer or primer lurking around, so that I can apply my eyeshadows very, very softly and seamlessly. Now, using the Goodnight Sweetheart palette by Sleek, I'm going in with the shade Hold Me Tight, and I'm using a Morphe M330 blending brush, and I'm going backwards and forwards into the crease area to create depth to the eye. What you won't see off camera is that I'm going in really, really softly with a tiny amount of product to slowly build it up, because it is actually a very dark brown shade and I don't want to go overboard, because I want to create a kind of a romantic smoky eye, but I don't want it to be like full on dark and black. So I went in about 3 times on both sides of my face, on both my eyes, and just blended it out so that I could create a really nice kind of contoured look to my eye. Then I'm using the shade Romance, which is more of a deep plummy sort of shade, and I'm using a Morphe E17 brush, and I'm going into the outer V area, but again I'm not going full on into the outer V. I just created a little line and then I dragged it in a tiny bit. I literally only used a tiny amount of product because again I didn't want it to be one of my full on smoky kind of looks, which I can get so easily carried away with doing. So just keep going backwards and forwards into that V or C area depending on your eye shape, and just keep blending it out so that it gives a really nice impression of a certain shape of eye. Oh, really bad description what I just gave, sorry. And then just go back in with that same Morphe brush and then blend out any harsh lines that may be remaining. Then the next shade that I'm going to be using is called Lingerie, and I'm using a MAC 227, sorry I forgot what I was saying for a second, a MAC 227 blush brush to apply it to the brow bones so that I can really highlight that area and completely cover up any concealer that's lurking around, but still keeping my eyebrows looking nice and sharp. Sometimes you don't have to, because you've got concealer on, it kind of blanks out all them baby hairs anyway, and that's another reason why I like using concealer in between getting my brows threaded. And then again go back in with that same Morphe brush and blend out any harsh lines. Now I'm using the shade Snuggle, and I am using a MAC 239 classic brush, and I am covering most of the inner part of my eye, and I'm just slowly patting it and building up that shade, as it's a really unique greenish brown kind of color, so I really like this. And now I'm using the shade Love Is In The Air, and I'm just flipping over that MAC brush and I'm applying it all over and on top of the other 2 shades, or part of them, just into that little gap in the corner of the eye where it is still slightly blank. And I've packed this on a little bit more than the other shades just so that it can show up a little bit more, because it is quite similar to the outside shade on the outer V, and I want it to be able to show up as a shimmer against the matte of the corner of the eye, if that makes sense, and give it that really kind of romantic grungy sort of look, which is perfect for the autumn fall seasons. And then I'm using a little bit more of that Romance just to blend out any harsh lines on the edges to make them merge together. And then I'm tidying up my brows last, as always, with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Chocolate. This is just to remove any eyeshadow, any mess, any fluff, any flies that may have decided to come and chill on my eyebrow, you know, the usual sort of thing. And then I'm lining my eyes with the L'Oreal Superliner Perfect Slim. I don't, again, always show this, like my eyebrows on camera, but I've got a lot of new followers recently, so I just want some of you guys to see what I do often, pretty much it for every makeup look. And the only reason I don't show it all the time is because it is exactly the same, and it just takes up extra time in the video where you guys could be watching something different shades and new products and that sort of thing. And then I'm using the shade Romance again, and I'm applying it to the lower lash line with a Sigma pencil brush, just blending it all out, really smoking it out and making sure that it's not harsh, because when you have matte and dark shades, you've got to make sure you really do a lot of blending so that it doesn't look harsh and stark, it looks more soft. And then I'm using my L'Oreal, no, it's not my L'Oreal, it's my Rimmel Scandalise eyeliner, which I use all the time. And then I'm applying my mascara, any mascara will do. I'm using some of my favourite Huda Beauty lashes. Basically, I love all her lashes. These ones are called Scarlett. They're really, really long as well as super fluffy. And I'm using a Bourjois eyelash tweezer thingy to apply them very, very slowly as they're massive. And I'm just using normal duo glue. By the way, guys, you need to recommend me a new glue because I hate this. It smells like just smells bad. And then to the tear duct, I am using the same shade as I used on my brow bone, which is called Lingerie, and I'm applying it with a MAC pencil brush to the inner corners of my eye, just to brighten up the area, because obviously the shades on the eyes are quite dark, so this will open up my eyes in case they've started to look a little bit closed off. And then put some mascara on the lower lash line, just to finish off the eyes, and then we're done. And now I'm using the other side of the Marc Jacobs contour palette thingy, and I am carving out my face using a Sigma large angle brush, carving out my cheekbones as I have a round face, so I am carving out my cheekbones, as you can see that I'm doing, and then doing it underneath the area where you can get rid of any double chin. I don't really have much of a double chin, I just kind of do it for uniformity to stop my flat foundation face looking so flat, and then contouring around the nose and everywhere else. And I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm using a Morphe contour brush. I can't remember the names of these brushes for some reason in this video, so I'm going to list them all below just so that you know what they are. And then I am just brushing it all off with a contour brush from Real Techniques. Then I'm using the Air Blush by Marc Jacobs in the shade Lush and Libido, and I'm applying it to the backs of my cheeks with a MAC 129 blush brush. Again, if you have a round face, you shouldn't apply blusher to the apples of your cheeks because it will make your face look more round. If you have a slimmer face, then apply it to the apples of your cheeks so you can make it look round, if that makes sense. Then I'm using the Kathleen Lights highlighting palette by Makeup Geek, and I'm using the shade Starlight and applying it to the cheekbones. This is a really nice soft pinkish sort of shade, and I'm applying it quite heavily. I only had to really go in once with the brush, but I do apply my highlight fairly heavenly. Well, yeah, I look heavenly. We can say that I look heavenly because I do. Well, that's what highlight does, isn't it? Glow from the gods here. Anyway, so highlight up that face as you see fit, and then I'm just tidying up any areas where I may have brought the contour down too far, or the highlighter, especially in areas where there's a lot of pores, which is mainly on your cheek area, which can happen. And now my lips, I'm using MAC's Soar lip liner, which is one of my favorite MAC lip liners. It's like a classic kind of dusky pinky mauve shade. And then I'm applying a Sleek's Icon VIP lipstick, just so that you guys can see what it looks like in the first instance with some pale lips. It looks lovely, don't you think? What do you think? Yeah, we like this color. We like this color a lot. Now I'm going to be showing you another version of a kind of lip look that you can go for. I'm using another MAC lip liner. It's called Magenta. Again, another favorite, to be honest. I just love MAC lip liners. And I am going to be using this with the Sleek VIP lipstick in the shade Elite, which is a deep berry shade. This one you can wear more in the evenings if you choose to do so. I tend to just wear glam during the day to go down to Tesco shopping, to be honest, so it's up to you, but this is an option that you can use. And I always tend to go in afterwards with a lip liner when it comes to dark lipsticks, just to tidy it up and define it more and to make it look a lot more sharp. So this is how it looks. You can see that it really complements the eyes quite a lot. All these lipsticks in this collection go really nicely with the eyeshadow palette, and I'm really happy with all three of them, which you would have seen obviously in my review of the video by now, of these products I mean. And then the last lip look that I'm going to show you, I'm using MAC's Night Moth lip pencil, which is a really deep and dark winey brown sort of shade. I think that's the best way to describe it. And then I'm using the shade Paparazzi, which is the final one of the lipsticks from the VIP collection from this collection. And this is very, very dark, very, very vampy, very, very evening, and very kind of autumnal sort of months. It's really gorgeous, and again I'm tidying it up just so that it looks sharp and neat and tidy. And that is it for all my looks. I'm going to stop talking now because I've literally not had a breath since I've been saying all of this stuff. Hope you guys enjoy this video. See you later. Bye.